Yo. Yo. What up, guys? How's it going? Not sure if anyone's tuning in yet. Let me get on my phone so I can see the chat. But yo, good to see everybody. I hope everyone's doing well. Excuse me. Happy Saturday. Am I live? It looks like I'm live. Yeah, it looks like it. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, hello guys. Hope everyone's doing well. I'm gonna start working on this track. I have this idea. I started this last night. It's just like this simple lead. I would say this is pretty heavily inspired by like craft textile sounds like Sama. It's probably who I could best describe this influenced by is Sama. Shout out Sama, he is such a good producer. But yeah, it's this pretty interesting melody. The thing is here, it's pretty much just playing with like major and minor stuff, right? Because we got like G and A sharp, that's just a G minor chord. G and D, that's just G in the fifth. C, that's in the scale. And then just the ninth. And then there's this note at the end, which is actually out of key. But I feel like it adds something cool. Yeah, it's like one of those things where it doesn't have to always be perfect musically for it to be perfect, if that makes any sense. So we got two layers. We have this one. And this. And I also had this layer of Pigments in here. Pigments was actually the synth that influenced this lead, because I had this cool, there was this one patch, I'm pretty sure it's just this fat dirty lead patch. Yeah, this was it. Which inspired this whole thing basically. And I think I'm gonna keep that in there. But yeah, and then there's this kick in here, which is actually a kick from another track that I already finished, but it's in a different key. But yeah, this one's a little bit more interesting than just like your standard rumble. See what this is it's this punch. Pretty standard, just like a kick that I had. And then I used this loop of like, it's like a kick loop from a sample pack. I'll show it to you. It's this one. So I took that. That's meant to be a kick on its own, but I took it, and you can see I shaped it here. I didn't actually, I have LFO tool on there, but I ended up just doing it by hand. But you can see, I just shaped the kick, and I shaped this to kind of fit in with the kick sample that we're using. Like what I did was, I basically brought in this kick sample, and then you can see, like if you look at this, you can see how like, right towards the end of the kick sample, this is when this starts fading up. I fit it to the kick, so now it's underneath the kick, and then that's how we get the bass for this track. So it's kind of a more interesting rumble. This is also tuned, so that gives it kind of a more interesting feel. It's tuned to G, that's the key we're in. But yeah, then just got those in a group, kind of processing it as if it was just all its own kick. Or all just one kick. But yeah, I think this one's pretty solid. Rizla, yo, good to see you, Rizla. How's it going? first. Dave Parks, always good to see you. Tone Deaf, hello. I'm gonna pause this and also just start reading the chat off of my phone. But yeah, good to see you guys. Hope you guys are all doing well in here today. Jan and his fights. I think they say that. Sorry, I'm American. You always work on headphones or only for stream? Nah, really, I mostly work on monitors, to be honest. It's just on the stream I use headphones because monitors, like with this mic, it's too much echo, and you would just be hearing like this. Here, you get all that delay. It's not pleasant. Plugs are better. I don't know, man. I think headphones, I mean, it really doesn't matter which one you use. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. Like, I'm pretty comfortable with headphones, to be honest. I actually, for the first, 3 years that I produced, I only used headphones. So, or maybe it was the first 2 years, but it was, a period of time where I only used headphones. So, I'm definitely familiar with it. Waste wisely, not the DAW that makes you a better producer. I did the same with the kick yesterday. Borderline stereo, though. Yeah, this actually does sound like it has some stereo stuff going on. Let's just convert it to mono really quick. It's why not, right? Do you think FL Studio is good for techno? Everyone who makes video or streams about techno are using Ableton. The effect racks and stock plugs are better. I mean, I don't know. It depends. A lot of people just use Ableton. I think it's kind of similar to how people who make beats use FL Studio. It's everybody sees everybody who makes trap beats. Not everybody, but a lot of people who make trap beats use FL Studio, right? So then if you look up how to make a trap beat on Google, it's going to be, most of the tutorials are going to be showing you how to do it in FL Studio. That being said, you can still make all of those same exact beats from those tutorials, all the beats that you've ever heard that were made in FL Studio. You can still make those in Ableton. It doesn't matter. It's just FL Studio is the thing people use. And it's the same thing here. It's Ableton is just what people tend to use for techno. And there are definitely a lot of things in there that make it easier, but I don't know. If you're already using FL Studio, and you're already better with FL Studio than you are with Ableton, I would recommend just using FL Studio. Waste wisely, put it exactly how I would say it. I did the same with the kick yesterday. Ravi, good to see you, man. Not invested in any plugin yet. Are they essential for professional tracks? Serum seems... I would say, honestly, if you have Serum, you're probably good to go. In terms of, making professional tracks. Anything other than Serum really is kind of extra. But that being said, I mean, I use a lot of stuff other than Serum. It's Serum is if you just need something to be your bread and butter, there you go. And then the other stuff is kind of adding on top of that. It's you're not going to get something. I mean, you are going to get something different than you could get inside of Serum, but it's in theory, you could make an entire track with just Serum, you know? So, I would start with that for sure. So funny, every hip-hop producer, a no techno producer, I know, but, I mean, for all we know, Adam Bayer could have made Your Mind on FL Studio, you know? It's just it doesn't really matter what you use. Rishabh, good to see you. Alright, I'm gonna keep working with this. We need some hi-hats. I have some hi-hats from tomorrow's tutorial, actually, that are pretty fire, not even gonna lie. So I'm gonna pull those up. I literally just made these a few hours ago. This is the video for tomorrow. I already filmed it. But, I'm gonna take these hi-hats and use them here, because they're really good. Not even gonna lie. And I'll show you, what's going on in here. I explain it in the video tomorrow. But I'll show you, what makes these so good in a second. Without giving it away too much. Sounds awful. I'm actually starting to produce some techno tracks using FL Studio. That does sound... I mean, for me, trying to use FL Studio sounds pretty awful. Not gonna lie. I would not want to have to make a whole track in there. But that's because I'm more used to Ableton. Alright, these hi-hats are cool, but they're very bright for this. But that's okay, because we can just use different sounds with the same MIDI. But the main thing that's going on here is how there's two alternating hi-hats where you get that extra one. And then there's also this operator here, kind of pulling it into the next part. So it's like stuff like that, but now let's try some. Let's try some other hi-hats, bro. We need something that is not gonna be so bright. Something a bit darker. We'll put some erosion on this. I was on FL for a year now and switched to Ableton they switched to Ableton a week ago. Changed everything. Interesting. I mean, yeah, it's just like the stock plugins and being able to sidechain really easily. That's one thing. If FL Studio could just come out with a compressor where you could just sidechain everything to that compressor, like, I feel like that would solve a lot of my problems with it. I don't know. On the other hand, a lot of Ableton techno sounds, well, that's more on the people making it, I think, than it is like the DAW. Because trust me, you can make, I know what you're talking about. You can make a lot of that same exact sounding techno using FL Studio if you were just trying to make something that's like a copy like that. Do you make much money from your tracks? You said you referenced Better Off Alone, one of your tracks that did well on Beatport. Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't really make that much money from my tracks, to be honest with you. The way I look at it with like dance music now is it's kind of like the original music for me. I mean, for one, really just in terms of like the brand overall, it's really more of an advertisement, right? Like it's kind of just like an advertisement for the live shows. If you just really look at the way that it works and the way that people release music and the way that all of this is, it's really just kind of like an advertisement for that. And like in my case, also an advertisement for like my services, like my videos on YouTube and helping other producers and stuff like that. But I don't really make that much money from my tracks. Just being like straight up with you guys, I guess. I don't know. But that's not really new. I mean, a lot of people don't really make that much money from their tracks. I don't know if that's really like even possible with techno to make that much. That being said though, I also haven't received a payment yet from any of my techno that I put out. Like it just hasn't been long enough to where the label would send anything, so I guess we'll see. Not even the big artists make. You can make some sort of beginner tutorials for the noobs. I thought of doing that. The reason why I don't do those is just because like I feel like they're kind of generic. Like if I make a like how to use reverb tutorial, like so many people have made a how to use reverb tutorial, and for a while I did make videos like that, and it didn't really get me anywhere. But now when I make videos that are kind of just like me doing like what I want to do artistically, and then people just kind of tuning in because they also resonate with that, I've learned like that does a lot more. Sorry, kind of personal question. No, it's cool. I mean, I don't really care. I'm not hurting at all for money, but it definitely, like I said, I definitely think in terms of like modern dance music, the releases are kind of an advertisement. I mean, that's just like being honest and straightforward about it. That being said though, for me, I treat them more like kind of, I mean, to me, even though I make the least money from them, I definitely put like the most, not like the most into them. Like I put a lot into my channel, but like I try to just sort of treat it as like a way to pull people into my brand, or like to pull them in. And by doing, sorry, I'm completely spacing here. What I mean to say is like to do this, what I do is I just try to make it like as best I possibly can. You know, still make awesome tracks that I really love and are like really expressing myself artistically. And then, like I said, it's just kind of an advertisement. But I don't know, that sounds dark, but I don't really see it. I don't really see it as that bad. That's just kind of the way it works. Anyway. But yeah, the big artists don't make a lot of money off music now either. I mean, that's just kind of how it works. And again, it doesn't matter because you can make enough money off of shows and stuff like that. And I'm starting to do that more now as well. Music is a means for your brand, so you get to play shows. Yeah. But like I said, I think the difference there is the people who just say, okay, this is just an advertisement, so I'm just going to, you know, kind of half-ass it. And then the people like me who say, like, okay, even though this is just an advertisement for my live shows, I'm going to make this as best I possibly can. I'm going to make it interesting. I'm going to really try to express myself and really make something interesting and not just make something that's like a rehashing of something else, you know? I think that's what really makes the difference is like when you go over and above like that. Maybe Boris Spray Show with merch, etc. But awesome DJs like Township Rebellion and Dax. Yeah. Yeah, that's true as well. Like, I don't know. But, I mean, the good thing about techno is I feel like it's kind of, I mean, house music, really like dance music in general, is it's like underground music, but there's still money behind it just because of that live aspect and how much people want to do that. So, or want to go see shows. So, I don't know. It's nice at least, like, to be, like, super underground, like, Dax J, you know, like, that is just not commercial music at all. Like, you could never sell that to, like, a commercial audience. But, and it's super underground, but because there's, like, so much money in the live aspect, that's what makes dance music interesting to me, I feel like. It's like underground music that's been really able, it's like an underground scene that's been really able to flourish because of that in a way that like, say punk or like metal or something like that. It doesn't really have that money behind the live aspect. Like they can't really get as far, I feel like. But yeah, getting gigs is about connections too. I'm learning more and more. Yeah, that's what I'm learning too. Hate Sounds, good to see you. How did you do the vocals on Better Off Alone? I explained that in the video actually. I made a video breaking down how to do that, but or how I did that. Music industry is, yeah. Played around London most of my life, hardly ever got paid. Yeah, I feel like London is probably like a hard place to try and come up like that. Like really any like huge city in Europe like that. Like trying to come up like moving to Berlin right now, for example, to try to become a DJ and like imagining that you were gonna get paid a lot for your gigs and like be able to support yourself off that like right away, like that kind of thing. Definitely, I feel like it would be hard to get going. But at the same time, I mean, once you do that long enough and then you do start getting paid, then it's amazing, I guess. Me, it's just a hobby. I'm older and work longer hours. Yeah, I feel you. Hey, I mean that's how it needs to be, you know. It's like it's whatever you want it to be. Like if you don't want to be like trying the hardest every single day to get your music to labels and get gigs and all this kind of stuff and like have it be a real job like that and have it just kind of be something fun, like that's totally cool too, you know. Spent a lot on Beatport over the days. Gotta make a tutorial on the style of the Cobaso remix. Yeah, I want to do another Cobaso video, so maybe I'll base it on that one. Depending on the venue I play for, I'm not a huge artist. Typically, it's 75 to 125 an hour. I'm gonna watch it now and then. Oh, nice, yeah. No worries, it's just honestly, like, in that video, I probably explained it better than I would just, like, not looking at the project file right now. I want to try something here. I did this in one techno track that I made recently, this collab I was working on with my friend Ramon Tapia. But it's this thing where you basically get like claps just on every quarter note here. And it gives it like a lot more of a heavy kind of feel. Nice, but I'm gonna get a different clap. The thing about the touring and like getting paid for gigs and stuff is, I'll say like, I don't think guys like Dax J and like, you know, people like that who are really established are getting like $100 an hour. They may be getting a lot less than you're thinking though. Like that, I definitely don't think they're getting like, you know, like $50,000 to play a show or something, like anything crazy like that. But like, I think that it's still more than you would think. But I don't know, like, it's hard to explain how all this stuff works. It's just kind of like, it's all about strategy too. It's like sometimes you're not always getting paid the most for a gig, but like you can promote it a lot on your Instagram. You may be able to get booked in a club nearby or something like that. Like there's a lot of reasons why people take gigs. Like it's not always just because they're gonna get paid so much money. And there's like other reasons why they can be valuable to you as well. Do a video about Ableton shortcuts. Yeah, I probably should. A lot of people request that I do videos like that. Hey Julian, I'm using many of your sample packs. I'm trying to, hey, thank you. Trying to learn that hard industrial kick design. I feel you, dude. Here's a kind of harder kick that I made. This one's got like a bass layer and a punch. What are you putting on your master when you're producing heavy industrial techno tracks? It's a good question. It depends. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of saturation. Usually I try not to do anything though. I try to do everything without having to put stuff on the master, but more just like effects on everything individually. However, I will sometimes put a little bit of saturation on the master. The key is to just use a little bit. You don't want to go too crazy. What sample packs do you recommend for starting out on some industrial/warehouse tracks? Honestly, there's not a lot of good ones out there. Like, I think that, I don't know. I think that, like, a lot of the sample packs that I find that say they're for, like, industrial techno or, like, harder techno, quote-unquote, oftentimes it's really just, like, a bunch of, like, 808 and 909 sounds. Like, you'd actually be surprised. Like, a lot of the sample packs for techno that I find are not that good. That's honestly why I started trying to make so many, and why I started, like, trying to put a lot of sounds out there and not just, like, 1 or 2 sample packs, is because I feel like there's just not, like a good base of packs. Like I said, like, every time I go through Splice and try to look through the techno section, it's like all these packs where it's just like 808 drums. It's not like you're never gonna find a kick that hits like this. It'd always just be like an 808 kick or like a bare 909 kick. So I don't know. Honestly, probably my sample packs. All about the brand behind the artist. Yeah, that's why I'm spending so much time trying to build it too. It's like I could be trying to get gigs all across the US and across Europe and stuff, but like I'm trying to build it up through like some smart releases and like getting your name out there. It's like, think about like Amelie Lens. Like every single person who knows techno knows Amelie Lens. Like no matter what, like you have heard of her. And so I'm sure she can ask for a lot for her gigs, you know? So it's like stuff like that. It really is about the brand. As cliche as it sounds, and as much as people just like talk about that in this day and age, I mean that's just kind of the way it is. Nice. Alright, I'm going to save this, and I think it is time to pull up some submissions. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to open up Google Chrome, and I'm going to pull up the emails. So if you guys want to send a track through, a feedback submission, send them through. I know I've already gotten quite a few, so I'm going to be pulling those up now. But yeah, send them through. I'm going to be checking them out, giving feedback. Donations are greatly appreciated. If you want to skip the line and get even more detailed feedback than I'm already giving, then definitely send a donation. But yeah, let's hear this first one from Waste Wisely. Hi Julian, hope you're doing well. Here's a track for some feedback. Appreciate it. Nice. Also, I'm gonna grab some water really quick. I'll be right back. Yo. Alright, we back. Angry Core, Steve, Shadow Kicks are good. Building a set. How do you go about building a set? Just find, honestly, like for me, I just try to find tracks that I really love and that are like not being played too much. Like I'll maybe drop like 1 or 2 really well-known tracks, but I would hate for like my set or like my mix to just essentially be like the Techno Bunker Spotify playlist, you know? Like I try to just get like interesting tracks that I like that like fit a certain quality standard. Like you'd really be surprised if you look through like artists, like just any like techno artist that has like a track that gets really big, they probably have a lot of other really, really good tracks, possibly even better tracks that people haven't heard as much, that were just like B-sides or C-sides on their EPs or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I just try to get creative with it and like find stuff that is interesting and not just like I said, like the same 20 tracks that everybody's playing right now. Same time complacency. This never happens. Send us to the email in the description. Alright, we got some tech house. I see where we're going. Yeah, T78 kicks are like insane. Like all the stuff on Autech Town. I have a release coming on Autech Town later this year in November. But like all the T78 and like ROBPM kicks, those are the hardest kicks I've heard. In terms of just like that style of like 128 to 130 techno that hits really hard. I like the synth coming in here. I think the mix is a bit messy though. Like I'll say some stuff about that in a second. Like your sounds, it's not even the mix, but it's like your hi-hats, your claps, like that kind of stuff. It's a bit thin to me. How's life? Hey Logic, what's good? Life is actually quite good right now. Cool, thanks for the advice. I'm trying to record my first planned set to record at home. Nice, yeah. Dude, just dig through like, I don't know, listen to stuff that like DJs play too. A lot of DJs play tracks that you would never like ever find any other way. Do you have any tip of processing for the low end to hit hard without distorting much? EQing it. Like, obviously you gotta use saturation to fatten it up. So, what you need to do is, you'll see I did it here, is EQ going into the distortion. Don't just EQ afterwards, but EQ going into the distortion. That is how you keep it from distorting in, like, the places you don't want it to. Turn on that style would be sweet. I know. I've gotten a lot of requests to do the mall grab new stuff. I'll probably do it. Okay, yeah, Waste Wisely. This track is kind of cool. I think the melody's a bit simple. You need something maybe a little bit more with that. Like a counter melody or just something else. That vocal sample could be good for some stuff like that. I don't know, overall, I think you got a good idea here. I would just keep working on it and trying to flesh it out. Work on like your sound selection. work on your mixing, just clean everything up, and try to really get it to like that professional level. But yeah, thank you for seeing that one through. This next one is from Ravi. Techno. Deep Dimension coming on strong. If you didn't hear, yeah, I'll check that out. EQ before the saturator? Yeah, exactly. EQ before the saturator, and the one that's before the saturator, only cut things. Don't like try to boost up anything. Rami, this is honestly better than some of the other stuff that you sent in. The synth work is very nice. That wow 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 wow. Nice kick and bass line. Also good drive with the acid sounds, yeah. Yeah, Rami, this is very good. And these strings coming in here? Ooh. I do still have some things I'm gonna say though. I don't think it's quite there just yet. Some Joy House vibes with the synths here. Actually, I'm gonna change the Ableton and change everything to it. Ah, nice. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see, if you've been watching my videos, how it would be faster. Like, I'll say that. Maybe you guys are a little biased to Ableton after seeing me move around really quickly in it. But, like, there's also probably somebody out there who can make techno tracks just as quickly as I can in Ableton, but in FL Studio, so. A lot of people use Logic. I saw a video with Thomas Schumacher and Victor Ruiz, I think it was, the other day. And they use Logic. This is good. The bass is kind of flat though. Like if you listen to like the way I try to mix my tracks, you hear how the bass is kind of like just as up front there with the lead. That's what you're missing here. Your kick and bass need to be fatter. Yeah, Rami, this is a good track. Like it's moving along really nicely. It stays interesting. It's exciting. Very good track. The only thing I would say with this is just like it's like a good idea, but the execution isn't quite there. Like I said, you know, your bass in the kick, because you have a rumble kick, needs to be more up there. I would turn the kick up a bit as well. Not even just turn it up. Definitely turn it up a little, but like also just try to make it fatter. You know, it can really be the difference between this and then this. Which, like, okay, with this, it sounds kind of hard to explain, but like, because it's getting quieter when this comes on. But this is like just making, here, I'll show you if I turn the volume up. Like, difference between this and this, like how much fatter that second one is. That's what you need to do. You need to give it that thing that's going to take it to that next level and really get the bass out there and really get the kick hitting as well. Other than that, I mean, not bad. Maybe I'd give the hi-hats and the percussion a bit more, like, bright high-end. But yeah, thank you for singing that one through. This next one is from Rishabh. Let's hear this. Ooh. Sorry, just got a random thought to work on that thing. Alright. Rishabh, this is off to a cool start. It's moving along nicely. Yeah, no problem, Ravi. We're dead. Deep Dimension coming on strong. Is that just like a track you're trying to know how to make stuff in the style of? Or is that like something that you want me to, that you made, that you want me to listen to? I'm confused. Rishabh, this one's cool, but it's a bit simple. The progression is actually pretty good. Like, you're doing a good job of moving it along from here to here to here pretty seamlessly. The problem is that it's just too simple. It's like this chord progression. Over and over and over again, just by itself, doesn't really feel like a lot to sink your teeth into. It's like, I'd love to hear, I mean, you have a little bit of a drone in there. Like that vocal thing. But I would try and add something more. Some kind of something like, maybe that's going up. Like the chord progression is descending. Like it's going down, and it goes up a little bit, and then it goes down. Maybe you could try like having some kind of a synth over that like when the chord progression goes down, the synth goes up, and then vice versa. Like just stuff like that. It just needs that thing that feels like it's missing. But yeah, thank you for singing that one through, Rishabh. Like I said, I would just try and give it something a little bit more. Anyway, this next one here is from AndScepter. I'm still making this track and it just feels a little empty. Need feedback on that. Let's see what's up. You ever listen to Maurice K? Amazing Aussie producer that seems to take a lot of inspo from John Hopkins and Rufus. Yeah, dude, I love Maurice K. He's really good. To be honest with you, he inspired parts of my Better Off Alone remix, the one that just dropped yesterday. Because it's like, I forget what the track is. It's the one that everybody sends me and says to make a tutorial in the style of it. But it's like, I was listening to that track, and that was kind of what showed me, like, oh, this is how you could, like, have a synth kind of, like, change and evolve over the course of the track. Like how, in my Better Off Alone remix, I have that lead synth, like, and then it kind of, like, has more and more notes coming in, and it has automation and stuff. I figured that out by listening to Maurice K because he does that really well. Like, he'll just make a synth and, like, I don't know how to explain it, but I felt like I couldn't really do that as well before listening to his music. So yeah, definitely a good one. What's up, Nick Mendez? Good to see you. ARP. Kind of reminds me of like a progressive house ARP. Yeah, Natural Selection, that was the track. Like, it wasn't like I was copying it, but it was just one of those things where I was like, oh, that's how you would do that, okay. Because I made a custom tutorial on RSK, on natural selection, and that was like, I spent a lot of time breaking it down, so I was like, oh, okay. Now I know how to do this. AndScepter, this one's not bad. I like how you have the chords underneath that arp. The drums could be kind of brought to life a bit more though. Right now they feel kind of flat because it's just like programmed elements. You need something more organic, like a shaker loop or something like that in there, or some Foley. Can you post it on your channel? I don't think so. AndScepter, this one, yeah, I like where you're going with this one. The synths and the kick and stuff. It's a good idea. I think it's like a bit aimless though. It's like, I don't really feel like I just feel like it's constantly building, like, a little bit. It's like it feels like it's constantly just going up slightly, like this. But instead what you want to do is have it kind of like build like this, like a lot more intense, and then drop, and then build. It's like kind of more like that, rather than like just having it kind of slowly go up and up and up and up. It's like, you know, it wouldn't be a very fun roller coaster if you were just climbing up slowly up this hill. It's like you climb up the hill, and then you go down, and then you go up, and then it's like, you need something like that. You need to really feel like it's changing and evolving more. But you have some good synth sounds here, but it doesn't really feel like a track, if that makes any sense. That's what I would work on. I would try to add, you know, more musical stuff, more stuff that's kind of like countering what's already happening, like a drone over top of those chords would be good, something like that, and just more stuff to keep it, like I said, kind of like flowing instead of just slowly going in one direction. Anyway, thank you for seeing that one through. This next one is from Maurice, and this is the last one it looks like because we don't have any more. Hey Julian, here's a track I made a few days ago. Appreciate your feedback. Oh, this is pretty hard. See, like I'm maybe speaking too soon. But here on this kick, even though it's filtered up right now, it's still hitting harder than like a lot of kicks in sample packs and a lot of kicks from like tracks people send in. This is what I'm talking about when I say like your kick just needs to be like undeniably hard. I could be wrong though. The track could come in and it could be awful, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, this kick is a bit flabby. Like, it has the hit to it, but it doesn't have the body to it. on Anjuna Deep. People can identify the genre. Yeah, we have time. If I remember, I'll check that out. I think if I ever heard one. So many old school hardcore references. Yeah, I know. It's getting very popular. This is definitely reminding me of something that I'd hear on like AndScepter or one of those type of labels. The only thing I'll say though is I think, like I said, the kick is a bit flabby and it's just not really like you've got the punch there for the most part, but you know, like if we're gonna play something from like AndScepter, like just listen to how like huge this kick is. Shout out Regal. Like this is like my holy grail right now for like those kinds of hard kicks. Like you know it has the hit to it. Dude, this track is so good. But it still has like the body as well. That's what you're missing. You have the hit is a little bit flabby, but it is there. But then the body of the sound just is a bit soft. It is flaccid, as somebody said. Anyway, guys, that is it. That was the last submission we had for today. And I've got some work to do. I've almost been streaming for an hour now. So I'm going to go. Thank you so much to everybody who came through. It was really great talking to you guys, listening to your music, showing you my new track as well. Hopefully you guys will be hearing this on an amazing techno label near you very soon. Thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Make sure to check out my Better Off Alone remix as well. It just came out. It's at the top of the description. Just got supported by Finger86 and Dark Tech channel. So we going up on the YouTube techno game. And yeah, peace, guys.